Welcome to the Black Script Storytellers. My name is Kevin Marable, and today our guests are the writers and the cast of the brand new short film, The Newlyweds, Blood at the Altar. Guys, how are you guys doing today? I'm so excited to have you on. How's everybody doing? I'm sorry. You can unmute your mic.
Doing well, man.
Doing really well. Happy to be here. Definitely happy to be here.
Good. I'm glad to have you guys on. It's so exciting to have you guys on. It's a privilege and an honor. But I'm going to go ahead and get right into it. If we could go around the room and state your name and your role in the project. And I will start with LaToya and Arlen first.
Hello. I'm LaToya Tonodeo, and I play Tia in The Newlyweds, Blood at the Altar.
And I'm Arlen Escarpeta, and I play Akil in Newlyweds, Blood at the Altar.
Okay, and then we have Lucian.
Hello. I'm Lucian. I am a co-writer and co-director and producer on The Newlyweds, and Arlen and Toya also produces on the project as well.
Okay, shout out to the producers. And Bird.
Same here. My name is Richard Bird Wilson. I am a co-writer, co-director, co-producer on The Newlyweds.
Awesome. Now, before I ask about what the film is about, if you guys could help me out and tell me, where did you come up with the concept for this particular project?
I guess I'll take that one. It actually started off attending a wedding. I was attending a wedding, and lo and behold, at that wedding, I'm watching this couple. You know, they are saying their vows and talking about love and the concept of love, and you know that idea of love conquering all was kind of fresh in my head, right? And then I said, okay, cool. Well, we have this idea of love conquering all, but what if it's in the worst of times as well, right? Like, what is this thing? What can love go against and still defeat? And so I said, well, what if you put love to the ultimate test? And then, lo and behold, we're from Florida, right? Bird and I are from Florida. And so in my mind, I say, well, what if the craziest thing happened at this wedding, right? And lo and behold, living in Florida, if you probably took a poll and asked anybody where they think the zombie apocalypse would happen in the United States, Florida would probably be number one on that list. And so that led to a bunch of different thoughts, and Bird and I sitting down and really grinding out these themes and really just trying to figure out, hey, how can we really test this couple? And then on top of that, we said, hey, what is the thing we want to see here that we haven't seen yet? We haven't seen this Black power couple in entertainment, right? That's fighting and doing all these action sequences. And it's like, okay, well, why haven't we seen it? Well, guess what? We'll create it now and we'll put this thing together. And so that was a lot of the backstory in terms of how we initially started laying that foundation.
I think that idea of what we wanted to see and bringing it to life rang very true. Like, I remember him when he brought the idea to me about, like, hey man, what if like zombie apocalypse just breaks out at a wedding? And we took that idea, and like we do, we just bounce it off each other over and over again. And we wanted to make sure we still grounded it in something real. So the idea of that wedding and love and what this couple has already been through definitely takes center stage in the short, and just opens up this whole world for the future of the film as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And you really don't see too many horror romance genre style films, let alone Black horror romance. And then to add on to top of that, you know, zombie apocalypse, which is crazy, at a wedding. So yeah, that's definitely a crazy idea, but it works, you know, it really does.
And also, it's like, how often do you see Black zombies, right? Like, how often do you get a chance to see zombies in South Florida being such a like culturally diverse place and such a unique place, you know, to have, I think this might literally be the first time I saw zombies with grills, you know? So
Yeah, zombies with the grills. Yeah, zombies from South Florida just in general is crazy.
Yeah.
Now, without giving the film away, and you've kind of described it a little bit, but can you describe what the film is about?
without giving too much away, because I definitely want everybody to be able to enjoy it.
Right.
But I would say is literally about a couple that everyone around them doesn't believe in them, but they believe in themselves, and they're fighting for their love, and they're fighting for their marriage against the craziest things that they can, right? And it's really just levels to it, and it builds out from there. But it's really about a couple fighting and fighting for their existence in this space. It's them against the world.
At what point did you know that LaToya and Arlen were the perfect fit for the lead roles?
As soon as they said they wanted to do it.
Okay, so let's just backtrack a little bit, and let me ask, how did you approach them, or how did they find out about this project?
Yeah, so we actually, at the time when we did this project during the writer's strike, right? So the writer's strike was going on, and we really, instead of sitting on our hands, we told ourselves, hey, we have these ideas and we want to get them out, right? And lo and behold, we have been working on the script, workshopping it, along with our executive producer, Alton McCraney, who came on and gave us some amazing notes in preparing the script. So with that being the case, we knew the script was ready, and we were like, well, are we going to just keep sitting on it, or are we going to do something with it? We said we're going to do something with it, and we started telling people about it, right? And Arlen was one of the first people to support us in that, right? He pledged money towards the Kickstarter that we had, but also was like, hey, let me holler at you. Let me see this script. And I was like, hey, definitely. Say less. Say less. And Arlen is, we got a chance to work with Arlen on David Makes Man, and we realized how much of a brilliant actor he was. And Toya, we've been fans of hers for such a long time. And it was all coming together at that point. I was like, I'm going to send you this script. You all read it. Let us know what you think. And I'll let them talk a little bit about that process of when they first read the script and talk to us about it.
Yeah.
So awesome. For me, when I read the project, immediately I was like, oh, this something here. Like this could be fun. This could be cool. Actually getting to work with Toya would be amazing. And then again, to reconnect with Bird and Lucian after just finishing working with them on David Makes Man, I said, I feel like what Lucian said, I was like, I feel like it's all coming together the way it's supposed to. So then I let Toya read, and she was like, oh, this could be fun. This could be really cool. And I was like, it's, obviously proof of concept. There's so much more story to tell, but just this nugget here, this is a seed that can really, push itself forward and turn into something special. And so then we reached back out to say, hey, we're very much interested. What do you guys think? So as much as they were excited to have us, we were excited, to be on board just the same.
And to be able to come on as producers and being a part of the casting process, and just, I've never been able to do that before. So it was a good way to get my feet wet on that side of things as well. So that was really.
Well, I'm glad that you brought that up, because I am curious to know a little bit about the casting process, especially with this taking place during the strike and all of that. What was that process like for you, that it was your first time? And then secondly, how easy or difficult was it to actually find the other cast members that were a perfect fit for this short?
Well, being that it was my first time being able to be on that side of things on a different scale, it was interesting because I'm watching from a producer standpoint, but also as an actor. And then I'm putting myself in their shoes, dang, I know that feeling, and all the things. It was just really nice to see, because now I'm seeing myself in other people, when I'm sending my tapes. And of course, we were definitely very critical.
As you should be. You say critical. The proof is in the pudding, right? We were looking for, obviously, the best actors and the best fit that worked overall, not just like a one-off, that one scene was good, but overall, these are the best actors across the board, because, when you're producing something, when you're creating, you don't know what that day is going to look like, if everything's going to go exactly the way it's supposed to. So if you have the best actor available, they'll roll with the punches. Independent filmmaking, something's gonna go wrong.
And also, like, let's say one person is auditioning for the mom, but we feel that, well, we're all talking, we're sending our list, everybody has their list, and then we're like, well, what if, okay, maybe she doesn't work for the mom because she worked for this. Like, just moving the pieces around, that was really fun too.
Right.
And
I really enjoyed that.
And that was something that I think we learned very much from Lucian and Bird and the other producers. Like, like, hey, this is more than just about a talent aspect. Now let's talk about who's available, location. Are we flying them down? Are we putting them? All of those things really have to fall into place, and that's when we got to see what the flip side of it is.
Like why you may not get something. It's not always because, even though we know that as actors, like it's not always you didn't book it because of your talent. There's other things that happen.
Yeah.
So being on that side of things is like, oh, okay, that's true.
But the right people absolutely got the roles, and they showed up and they showed out.
Yeah. And it makes things a lot easier when you're on the other side of things to understand when you, as an actor, when you go for a role and you don't necessarily get chosen for that role, as to why. You don't necessarily put a lot of weight into the why once you know the other side of things, maybe what it is that they're looking for, and maybe just not the right fit. There's a lot of different reasons why. So
yeah. And I would say to add to that, it's the same way when it comes to writing. Some of those things that you put in the script, you don't understand why they necessarily can't be produced in the way with a certain budget or things of that nature. You also learn that when you put on that director's hat, right? When you put on that director's hat, you're like, okay, now I see why this many people in this scene don't make sense for the amount of coverage and amount of time and everything else that we have to do here. So it's really one of those things where you realize you have to tell the story 3 different times. You tell that story on the page, but then the story develops and you tell the story on set. That may change things a little bit. And then once you get in the editing room, things change and edit and shift around. So being okay with realizing the story is ever growing and ever evolving, as well as the people involved with the project, right? As we continue to grow in our process as artists, these things get bigger and better. And so that's the great thing about it, is we really had a community that leaned in on each other. We had amazing producers on this project. We have, and it all felt like a family. It all felt like a family. So definitely, and also shout out to Moon Ferguson and Key and everyone at Filled with Magic Productions, because they really held it down on this end in terms of that knowledge and experience from independent filmmaking that us from the side of coming from the studios don't necessarily know about when it comes time to get, really creative and make that magic out of matchsticks. So, yeah.
Right. And just to stay on the cast just for a quick second, Alex Hibbert is also a part of this. A lot of us know Alex from The Chi and also Moonlight. Can you speak to the large number of people on top of Alex that are involved in making this film happen? Just so we can include them in this interview, because they were also a part of this project.
Yeah, most definitely. Alex was also in there. We have Annalisa Velez, who's also one of our amazing producers and amazing actresses. We also have Bertrand Boyd, who you will know from Queen and Slim, on there as well. We have we talked about one of our other producers. Her name is Tanisha Seidel. Amazing. She's also from David Mace Man family with us. And she was also in Moonlight as well as other projects. Let's see what else. We also have Terrell Alvin McCraney, who's our executive producer. We feel like, everyone should know that amazing Oscar winning, Tony nominated, Peabody winning artist that he is. And the community, man. I will say this. I don't want to just necessarily highlight those people without saying that we had so many people from the community itself that came up, showed and showed out, right? We had people who, it was their first time being on set, right? all the way down to some of our family members who showed up and showed out on set. So the kids, we had kids from Norland Middle School out here in South Florida that really did their thing. It was just so much love from the community, honestly. And I don't think it was stars all across the board. It wasn't even just the people whose name is that you'll recognize.
Now, you both got your start as story editors for the acclaimed series David Makes Man on OWN, and then eventually went on to write Tyler Perry's Sisters on BET, and now this the short film, The Newlyweds. I'm assuming, based on the progression of your careers, that this is the next direction that you're headed in. What do you have to say about that?
It was more adding something to the bag. We know we had a want to get our stories out, and I'm sure everyone on this call knows how hard it is to actually get something made, especially in our current system. So it was a matter of wanting to take things into our own hands. So we had been writing the scripts, we had been doing the pitches, but it's like, okay, if people don't see it right now, we have to go make them see it and do it ourselves. And we believe in doing it and becoming writers and directors. I mean, becoming directors made us better writers as well, from all the things that sort of Lucian laid out, from seeing it at every step, knowing when you write this scene right here, what that'll cost and what the time it'll take to actually get it done was. So yes, like, it is the next step, and I think we'll be doing more of it. But also, it was just a matter of one more thing that you didn't have to ask for, and you kind of just can go do yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, just, to add to your point, being story editors, you guys also get to be able to see what it is that you need to include in a shot, take away from a shot, and be able to do that in your writing, so to speak. So that way you can learn how to navigate that and not include so much that you don't necessarily have to put into your writing. Only include the important parts and move forward from there. So yeah, that's definitely a good tool to have in your toolbox. LaToya and Arlen, is this the very first project that you guys have been able to work together in?
So we've worked together on a show called The Oath on Crackle, but we didn't share scenes. It was
we played husband and wife.
Yeah, it was like over the phone. And then this is the first time that we're actually sharing scenes, like in space, in physically in the same space,
right,
together. So that was really fun and cool.
Right. Yeah. What was that like? What was this process like?
I'll tell you exactly what it's like. It's just the way it is when we audition. We expect the best out of each other, but give each other grace and space to breathe. I respect her as a creative. She respects me as a creative. So she's only going to push me as far as she knows I can go, and vice versa. And then if I need more, I'm going to ask her, like, no, push me a little bit further. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's awesome.
I wanted to say how even great it was to see the other actors and even some of the less experienced actors being able to watch their process and just be in amazement, as we were. Like, they're so locked in and both such students of the game. You can see others just watching what they're doing and taking little bits from them. So yeah, that was amazing as well.
Yeah, that's dope, man. That's dope. Well, besides this project, LaToya, if I could, can I ask, what can we expect from the next half of Power?
You can expect, and I know this is going to sound vague, but a lot. There's a lot that's happening. Some things, I don't want to give up too much, but there's a lot of things happening. There's a lot of things happening for Diana that are like shifting in her character. So I'm excited about that, because there's some things that I've been wanting to happen for a long time that's finally happening for her. So yeah, you'll see September 6th.
September 6th. All right, can't wait. I already got it set on my DVR.
Oh,
and then Arlen, what about you? What about Found?
Found is going great. Season 2 Starts airing October 3rd, 10 p.m. And we're cooking over there. We're on episode 14 of our 22 season 2 pickup. So we're making it happen, man. I'm excited. I can't wait to share everything that is happening and where we left off. I think we left off with season 1 that Sir is no longer in the basement. You know, like he's out. So that changes everything for everybody, and it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting to watch for sure. See what all unfolds and takes place.
Yeah,
Yeah. Now, 89 Writers. You guys have worked on Sisters season 7, going on season 8 potentially.
So season 8 is actually supposed to be coming out this fall, I believe. And we came on season 8 as writer producers. So
Congratulations.
that's really great. Thank you. And coming off the finale of season 7, I know a lot of people are hyped with Gary, going down. So a lot of people want to know what happened, who took him out, who stabbed Gary. So we know season 8 is definitely going to have a lot of people's eyes and asking that question and tuned in. So we're excited about that for sure.
Yeah, people are definitely gonna be glued to the TV, man.
So
sure.
Toya watches Sisters. She loves Sisters. I jump in every now and then to find out what's going on. I didn't know the man. What happened to Gary?
Gary made a lot of enemies. Gary made a lot of enemies.
Got a lot of enemies. Yep.
I have my speculation. I do. I feel like I know who did it, but
right. You're gonna have to tune in and find out, right, guys?
Mm-hmm. Oh
yeah. Okay. What's the overall goal for 89 Writers long term?
Oh yeah. So we want to keep being able to be storytellers on the highest level. We work on the stage, we work in film, and we work in television, but also we want to be educators. We want to always make sure that we're empowering the next generation to find their voices and to tell their stories. And that's really the thing for us, is to be in a space where we're allowed to continuously tell our stories in all shades and grades, from ratchet to righteous. You know what I mean? And to be able to do that in a high quality way.
Right. Okay. All right. And LaToya and Arlen, what's next for you guys? I know you guys are very busy with the Power series and Found, but is there anything else that we can look forward to?
There's some things cooking, hence the calls that have been.
A lot of business.
Yeah, I'm excited, but we shall see. I'm prayerful that I'm being guided by God in the right direction to make the right choices. So we'll see, and I know I am, because I'm God's child. So with that being said, a lot of things are on the horizon. A lot of amazing things are on the horizon for all of us on this call. So.
Mm-hmm. I'm just continuing to finish up season 2 of Found. Looking forward to developing some new projects. Once that hiatus hits, creativity is not going to be on break. It's about keeping the ball rolling and keeping ourselves motivated. And hopefully you'll hear about some stuff with me, Toya, Lucian, and Bird all over again, because that's got to be the goal, right? You build bridges so you can cross them multiple times, and the goal is to find people that you like to work with, that are talented, that they're creative, and know how to give of themselves. And these two gentlemen absolutely do so. Absolutely.
And shout out to Moon. She's not on the call, but she held us down too. Everybody, like he said, everyone.
Mm-hmm.
I want to make sure we shout out Moon for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you guys. This is really all that I had for you. But I like to give my guests the final word, whether that be a piece of advice, words of encouragement, or a quote to live by. So you can say all three, or you can choose one of the three. It's up to you. And we will start with you, Lucian.
I would just say, continue to follow the dream. Don't let anybody sway you away from the dream. Know that this is meant for you, and continue to push, because it's when preparation meets opportunity. So be prepared. and stay ready. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
A great poet once said, "If you didn't aim too high, then you aim too low." So I'll just put it like that.
Right.
J. Cole? J. Cole?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You know,
Yeah.
you know. You want to say ours together?
Yeah, let's do it. Go ahead.
We know ours. On the
I
count of three.
definitely was hoping I was last. So I could say it.
You say it together.
Ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Rejection is God's protection.
Come on.
That is fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. I like
They
that.
already knew that that's what I was going to say, okay? For me, it's definitely stay focused. Don't get discouraged because, like we both said, rejection is God's protection. What you think is for you sometimes, if it doesn't happen, just know sometimes you're being protected or held back just a little bit so that you can be placed where you're supposed to be. Like, there's no such thing as an upset because if you invert that word, it's a setup. Sometimes there's things that happen for you that you just are kind of upset about, but trust that it's a setup for your success. So stay encouraged.
Absolutely.
Okay, poet.
Amen.
Yeah.
Man, yes.
I'll add to that, and I'll say that the hills and valleys are important. There's lessons in W's and there's lessons in losses. I personally feel that the biggest and best lessons come from the L's.
That's true.
That's when you really find out what you're made of sometimes, what's under there. It's easy to take W's and be happy. It's a lot more beneficial to learn from a loss. And I think that's the creators, that's par for the course.
Yep.
Yeah,
Definitely.
absolutely. Well, thank you guys so much. Truly appreciate your time, me and Jess. And we were super excited to have you on. We were excited about this project, and we wish you all much success. We're going to continue to watch and cheer you on from the sidelines. And if there's any project that you guys have going on in the future, you would love to come back on, we would love to have you again. It doesn't, no matter how big or small, we would love to have you guys back on. So thank you so much for this opportunity, for giving your time, and also being able to share your project and share some of your knowledge as well. Truly appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.